UFC Vegas 98. What a main event. What a main event. Main event carried for me. Yeah, Brand Royval versus Tatsuro Taira. What a fight. Let's just get straight into it. Round 1. Tatsuro Taira. He really struggled. He looked out of his depth on the feet. Royval just picked him apart, kicks to the body, straight shots down the pipe, a spinning back fist even. He had Taira looking like Tatsuro tomato face, Taira. Royval then miraculously stumbled, right, and Taira took him down, showed some great defense against Royval's heel hook attempts. But it was Royval's round. He just the Taira's 24, and he's coming up against one of the best strikers in the division, so I guess it was natural that he was gonna struggle on the feet, but he also really struggled with entries for his takedowns, and I think that's something he's gonna have to work on. But getting into round two was a completely different story. Yeah, Royval was too careless. He came in with the knee, and Taira showed some beautiful timing. So many T's. Right? Took him down and just dominated him on the ground. Landed some nice ground and pound. He's got probably the best body triangle I've ever seen. He never lets it go, and he always readjusts depending on where his opponent, or in this fight specifically, where Royval would try to squirm to. Anytime Royval would move, readjust, Taira would also make the necessary readjustments to keep that body triangle locked in, and he doesn't wear out his legs. This was in the second round. For the next three rounds, he was completely fine. He was not flat footed, which is super impressive. But yeah, so it was 1-1 going into the third, and that third round, just look at those stats. 81 total strikes, 4 submission attempts in that round. That third round was crazy. Wow. I thought it was done, that third round. But Taira is tough. Right, Royval rocked him on the feet, hurt him multiple times. Taira's skull was all over the place like a bobblehead. Royval hit him with 2 big knees in that round. One of them when Taira was shooting for a double leg. Royval goes for a submission, multiple submission attempts. I don't know why. I don't know why he would do that, and it all led to Royval, who was destroying Taira, nearly finishing him that round, nearly being finished himself on the ground. He was nearly submitted by the end of the round. It was one of the best rounds of the year. It was absolutely crazy, and credit to Taira because he is tough. He's super tough. That fourth round, it was pretty identical to the second, right? Taira needed to get a round back after that third round where he got absolutely splattered by Royval. So Taira got the takedown, and just class on the ground once again, controlling him. That body triangle, I can't stop talking about that body triangle. Literally, he's just got you locked in, and you're not going anywhere as soon as he's got it locked in. So it was 2-2, and then the fifth round. The fifth round was mental, not as mental as the third, but it was mental, right? Taira once again outclassed on the feet, and Royval had enough. Royval had enough and said, "You like trying to submit me, Tatsuro Taira? Well, have a taste of your own medicine, tomato face Taira." Yeah, and he just threw an armbar. He had a rear naked choke, which looked like it was tight. I can't lie, I thought Taira was gonna tap, but Taira survived, and it was brilliant. The fight was absolutely mental, on the feet, on the ground. It was one of my favorite fights of the year. It was just crazy, even after the Bivol Beterbiev fight. watching this, it still had me on the edge of my seat. What a fight! Look, Tyra is still super, super young, and he's got a lot to improve on. Notably, his striking. Right, his striking was pretty piss poor, which is fine. He's young, and he was coming up against one of the best strikers in the division. Another thing he's got to improve on is his entry on his takedowns, because Brandon Royval's takedown defense is not that good, right? It's not. We saw it against Pantoja. He really, really struggled against Pantoja. Struggling against those takedowns specifically. And Taira, especially in that first round, he really struggled to take Royval down. I feel like he was on the feet for longer than he should have been. On the feet, fighting on the feet for, because he was not comfortable there. Let's see what else. What else does he need to improve on? His offense on the ground, right? Because Tyra controls his opponent for long periods of time. That first round, he controlled Royval for a very, very long time. Or not for very... the end of the round, right? He controlled him for a decent amount of time. The fourth round... Sorry, it was the second and the fourth round. Both those rounds, he controlled Royval on the ground for a very, very long time. If he had the submission attempts to match, right? Look, you really can't escape once he's got you on the ground because of that body triangle. He just keeps you locked in. If he can reliably go for the kill every time, then he becomes an infinitely more dangerous fighter on the ground. But yeah, I mean, brilliant fight. Well, unfortunately, I feel like we're gonna be checkmated with the result of the fight, because I believe Pantoja is gonna beat Asakura, and if he does, there's no one for him to really fight. There was barely anyone now. Hence, they gave him Kai Asakura, right? Taira would have been the next one up, but obviously he's lost to Brandon Royval, and Pantoja just slapped Royval around the gap about 2-3 times. Brandon Moreno's still up there, but he slapped him around the gap 2 times as well. So there isn't really that many, opponents for Pantoja. So I don't know what he's gonna do after he beats Asakura, but I guess we'll find out. Right, Brad Tavares versus Jun Park. This fight was just an advert for CTE and brain damage. 5 shots to the body combined going into that third round. That first round, Tavares landed a lovely 1-2, and I thought the fight was done. He dropped Park, landed some good follow-up shots, but Park recovered well, and he benefited off of Tavares' adrenaline dump, right? And in that second, he just pretty much outstruck Tavares in terms of numbers, outlanded him in terms of output. And in that third, it looks like he hurt Tavares. Tavares falls against the fence, and Park does what he needs to do, takes him down, and just controls him for the entirety of the round. I feel like Tavares let himself down a little bit. He bolted it a little bit, right? He got excited that he got the knockdown. There was an adrenaline dump, but also I think he struggled physically after that. Yeah, he needed to kind of reserve his energy a little bit, manage his stores a bit better. But yeah, it was a good win for Park. I think Tavares let himself down a little bit there. Well, let's talk about this fight right here. Right, Chidi Onjukwani versus Jared Gooden. Right off the bat, Gooden came in super aggressive, right? Tried to land the takedowns, and Onjukwani, it was a clinch masterclass, right? Clinch masterclass, similar to what was it? Was it Anderson Silva versus Stephan Bonner? think it was Stephen Bonner, wasn't it? Where but Anderson Silva just put on a clinch masterclass. Where yeah, Njokwani, I think I saw a stat that said he landed 26 strikes in the clinch to Gooden's 0. Mental. He landed some good knees, some big elbows, and I understood why Gooden was being relentless with those takedowns, trying to take him down, because Njokwani was just so good at controlling the distance on the feet when they were striking. He used his kicks so well, and it was a comfortable victory for him, I felt. So a good performance for him. Now let's move on to Grant Dawson. Right, this geezer. I mean, nasty performance. He lands a takedown, right? That John Jones kind of signature takedown where he moves the weight off that back leg and simultaneously pulls his opponent down with that arm draped over the shoulder. It's a beautiful takedown. I love that takedown. Disgusting ground and pound. It was nasty. Yeah, this nasty elbows, cut him up. Just a pool of blood, and Garcia did an awful job of defending. He should have tried to pull Dawson in touch close reach, right, in order to stop the elbows, in order to stop the separation, but he just curled up and tried to give up his back, which was him saying, I'm throwing in the towel, I'm done. Right, yeah, great performance by Grant Dawson, and then he went on to ruin it in his post-fight interview with his wedding vows. Grant Dawson, I don't care if your missus has a dump truck, right? Why do you have to do that? Why couldn't you just call someone out? Yeah, why couldn't you call out bloody Islam Makachev? Wife's got a dump truck. What a mug. Moving on to the next fight that I want to talk about, performance of the night. Rightly so, I say. Ramazan Temirov. This man is dangerous. Yeah? He's a dangerous boy. Yeah? Similar to Kai Kara-France in the flyweight division. He's springy, right? He's explosive and he has power. And he's going to have to be careful when he does lunge in, because he leaves himself exposed. But he butchered CJ Vergara. That overhand right sent Vergara to the underworld. And fair enough, yeah, Vergara, he got back up. But Temirov chased him down like Vergara owed him lunch money. And Vergara did it again. He did it again, just like he did against Lesada. The I'm running away with my head on a 98-degree swivel so I can see the punch you're going to throw directly into my mouth and take 17 years off my lifespan. He did that again, right? And then Vergara finally stops running and gets hit with a beautiful liver shot, which caused him to drop to one knee and for the ref to step in and stop the fight. And Temirov gets the KO on his debut. Brilliant performance, and the flyweight division is getting some nice names. It's being built up nicely. They've got Tatsuro Taira, obviously we saw in the main event. Ramazan Temirov now is his debut, and Kai Asakura is going to make his debut too. So it's good to see, considering the flyweight division was potentially going to be liquidated all those years ago. It's one of the best divisions, I think. Look, you've got everything in there. You've got guys with power, you've got guys who are fast, you've got guys who are technical, have high IQ. You can have all kinds of fights, like all kinds of different fights in that division. And it's time for people to stop sleeping on the flyweights, because they're decent, right? But the final fight I want to talk about, Junior Tafa, right? UFC, just stop, right? Give Junior Tafa a light heavyweight fight, right? Leave him alone. He doesn't want to fight heavyweights anymore. Yeah, you're killing him. He looked like he was gonna die in that first round. 4 days notice, I think, and so why are you trying to kill him? Why? That second round, the finish, Well, he looked like he was gonna get finished himself in the first round, but that second round, right? Eddie Guerrero's got the three amigos. Junior Tafa's got the three uppercuts. He's got the three uppercuts. The way he was throwing those uppercuts as well, by the way, it was like he was so tired that he just wanted it to end. He wanted the fight to end. He just please go to sleep, please. Right, that's literally what he was doing when he was throwing the uppercuts, and I'm so happy that it ended there. The fight ended there and then. Otherwise, we would have had Sean Sheriff and Junior Tafa both with oxygen masks on and no third round. Just a mental fight, and those were the fights I really want to talk about on the card. It was an alright card overall. It was hard to concentrate considering Beterbiev and Bivol were on, but the main event was brilliant, incredible, man. Fight of the night, deserved. That's all I've got to say. So stay around for more content.